Hello there. I will be ranking the Def Leppard albums. I've been asked a lot what my favourite album is, but I got sent this tier thing, this Def Leppard tier, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's new. And I thought it'd be fun to talk through how I would rank the rest of them. I'll be basing it off certain criteria, namely how long they would last in my car CD player. But I'll probably end up contradicting myself many a time. So let's see how it goes. So I think I'll do it chronologically. Actually, no, let's just get these out of the way first. This is pretty self-explanatory, I think. Hysteria is God tier. And there can be only one... Well, there can be more than one God. It depends on your beliefs. That's a whole other video subject right there. But in this scenario, there's only one God. And it's Hysteria. It's everything I want from Def Leppard. It's a very cohesive album. I mean, a lot of the songs have their own identity, but they all sound like they belong. And I don't think you get that with many albums. But Hysteria certainly does it for me. I mean, that album cover, Andy Airfix just did an amazing job with that. That in itself gets it up there. But the songwriting's great. The production is so lush. And the guitar work isn't the flashiest or fanciest. But I think that makes it more timeless. So yeah, God tier. Favorite song, I think it's always been Animal. But I do love every track on that album. Love it. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually own the album. Now, I have owned numerous copies of other albums, but I don't own Yeah. It's never really interested me. And to be honest, I'm surprised it's been included here because it's a covers album. Yeah. Not much to say, really. I mean, I do like the time period from where this came from. Because I remember the band, they seemed to be doing more TV appearances. Well, especially in America. And YouTube was getting a little bit bigger. And you could see the band on said TV appearances. I remember seeing them perform, like No Matter What, and 20th Century Boy and all that. And there was the little behind the scenes videos they did of the rehearsal space. That was pretty cool. So I do quite like that time period, but the album's just not really something I'm interested in. Favorite song? I actually quite like the cover of Waterloo Sunset, but did that even appear on the album? I couldn't even tell you. If not that, then No Matter What. There's some good live versions of that. So yeah, it stays in the D tier. I don't know if there'll be another one for the D. We shall see. But certainly there's only one God. And we shall see about the D tier. Right, let's crack on. On to the night. Yeah. Not really what I want from the band. I respect it as their first album. They obviously show a lot of promise in the songwriting and the guitar work and everything. But it just doesn't really resonate with me. Favourite song? I quite like Hello America. Probably Rock Brigade though. I think that's a cool driving song. But yeah. This would probably only be in the car CD player once. Yeah, well, yeah, it's never been in. Maybe once or twice, just out of curiosity, but it wouldn't last very long. So it stays in the C tier. High and Dry, you get yourself up there. I love this album. And it's funny because people say, it's basically Def Leppard being AC/DC. I'm not really a fan of AC/DC. It's never really interested in me, but I do love this album. Again, it's quite a cohesive album. Just maybe doesn't have the same depth as something like Hysteria, but it's got great energy in it. And of course, with Mutt coming on board, the songs are a bit more refined, a little bit more of a commercial element to the music, which I quite like. Favorite song? I think Lady Strange. I love the main hook in that, the riffs, the kind of bridge section, the solo. It's one of my favourite Steve solos for sure. So yeah, A tier. Pyromania, again, A tier. Probably the most genre-defining album from the band, and some of their most signature songs. I think as an album though, I think it sounds a little bit more dated than Hysteria. I don't know if that's due to the production and the drum sound, but Hysteria just has a bit more of a timeless feel. Pyromania feels a little bit more dated, so that's why it's on the A tier. But it's probably top of the A tier. Probably goes Hysteria, Pyromania, High and Dry. But yeah, great album, great songs. Starting to really find that sound that they went for, that they ended up kind of perfecting, I would say, with Hysteria. But this is a very exciting album. Favorite song, maybe Coming Under Fire, but I love Too Late for Love as well. Yeah, killer. Although I do like the live versions of the Pyromania songs from the Hysteria tour, so I don't listen to the album as much, but it's a great album. Adrenalize, B tier for me. And there's songs on here that I like more than songs on High and Dry and Pyromania. But as an album, I mean, I would put it on quite a lot, but it would never last as long as the ones above. I'm not sure why. It's maybe just a wee bit too glossy. I mean, I do like the production in that. I do like how everything sounds, but it's maybe too nice. Maybe that fatigues the ear. But I do like the album as a whole. I don't mind songs like Make Love Like a Man and Personal Property. I really don't digest lyrics, so that's never bothered me. But again, great guitar work, nice harmonies. Favorite song, I think Stand Up, Kick Love Into Motion. Really like that. Retroactive is another B tier. It's close. It's close between the two. I think I prefer Adrenalize more, but that's maybe because Retroactive has a couple of, I wouldn't call them odd songs, but like there's one or two too many Miss You in the Heartbeats. You know, I don't really associate Def Leppard with piano or really acoustic guitars. But I love, Desert Song, Ring of Fire, Fractured Love, I Want to Be a Hero. I actually really like songs like She's Too Tough as well. I think the album sounds great. There's just one or two songs like Miss You in a Heartbeat, not as keen on. I do think it's a nice song. There's too many versions of it. I'm not as big on Two Steps Behind or From the Inside or Only After Dark, but everything else. And I think the production on this sounds a little bit better than Adrenalize in parts. But I think, imagine Adrenalize didn't come out, or what did come out was a mix of the kind of heavier Retroactive stuff with some of the Adrenalize stuff, with When Love and Hate Collide. That would be a god tier album right there. Anyway, favorite song, I Want to Be a Hero. Slang. Yeah, it's C tier for me. I know a lot of people like it's their favorite Def Leppard album, and I think that's great that there's that diversity. But it just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, it's just, I've had it on a couple of times out of curiosity to try and give it another chance. And I do think it has gotten better with age, but it's just not what I want from the band. But there's some good songs on there, and the production is actually really nice. I think the real drums from Rick Allen sound great on some tracks. Yeah, I think I'm glad the band did it. I'm glad they express themselves with slang, but it's just not what I look for. But there's some cool guitar work. I did enjoy some of the covers I did from slang, but not really something that would last long in my car CD player. Favorite song is probably Deliver Me. Yeah. Euphoria for me is B tier, close to C tier, mainly because it's got probably too many songs on it, and 2 or 3 that I would skip. I'm not keen on It's Only Love or All Night, but the rest of the songs I love, And I think it's a very cohesive album. Production sounds great. I think it's the best sounding backing vocals on an album. Guitar wise, we're starting to get into the more is it more processed? I don't know. For me, this is a very, it's like this pre-Euphoria and post-Euphoria in terms of the guitar tone in my head, and this is the start of, I would say, the modern era guitar tone. But yeah, great songs in there. I love Guilty. I think my favourite is probably Paper Sun. But it's B tier. Probably the lowest of the B tier so far, but it's B tier. X goes into C. It's not one I would listen to a lot, but I do like some of the songs on there. I mean, it does have heavy tracks like Scar and what was the other one? Oh, I can't even remember the name. But there's some heavy tracks on there. I do really like 4 Letter Words. I actually really like You're So Beautiful. And the live version they would do at the time, I thought if they had more of the guitar heavy arrangement, like how they do the songs live on the album, it would probably push it up there. Maybe not B tier, but certainly high C. Yeah, just maybe. Again, it's quite a long album. There's a lot of tracks in there I probably would skip. But yeah, tracks I do like. Yeah, 4 Letter Words probably my favourite, even though it's maybe a throwaway song. Yeah. Sparkle Lounge is the other D tier for me. It's just, I mean, there are some songs on there I like. I really liked when this came out. I love the song Tomorrow and Hallucinate, but it's just an album I can't listen to really. I don't get the urge to put it on. I think the production's kind of robbed the album of being more listenable, because there are some great songs on there. It's just doesn't quite hit the mark. So yeah, it's D tier. It's above Yeah, but it's not one I would go to. Self-titled is C tier. There's probably too much variation on it for me. I like that the band were very proud of the album when it came out, and it was during a time when we might not have had another Def Leppard album, so I appreciate that for that. I remember when Let's Go came out, getting goosebumps on the pre-chorus. It's like, oh my god, they're writing songs like this again, and it's got that production. But yeah, it's just not. There's more than a few songs in there that I don't really want to listen to, so I wouldn't listen to it as an album as a whole as much. But some songs on there I do like. Wings of an Angel probably being the best, so it's C tier. Diamond Star Halos is probably bottom of the B tier, but it's been growing on me a lot. I think it's better than Self-Titled, but I think it's certainly the bottom of the B's. Yeah, some cool songs on there. I mean, Take What You Want, it's probably one of their best songs in the last 20 years, easy. So that alone puts it up in the B tier. But yeah, so we'll see how much it grows on me further. I don't think it would ever get up to A, but it's certainly got potential to get up higher in the B tier. But I think that looks how I would imagine it would look. Yeah, Hysteria top. These three are kind of like in their own league, and Hysteria is above that. And then this group of 8 here, you know, there might be 1 or 2 changes going about. Like I said, if X was a little bit better production wise, it might push up into B, but I think this is how it would be. And these 2 that I don't really listen to. But yeah, could put on any time in the car, similar to these guys. Less so, even less so, and never. Okay, tell me what you think. How would you rank these guys? Would you have Slang up there? Would you have Hysteria down there for being too poppy? If you would, I would think you're crazy. No, I wouldn't. But yeah, that's how I view these albums. Cool. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.